Share my findings, Mike?
Are your
I
findings
mean,
the same as Mike's?
Awkward. I just wish they.
my findings are totally different from Mike's, but they are based on Mike's
Okay.
findings.
Jesus Christ.
More than they're based on Mike's findings, they're based on Mike having findings. Like the fact that he has findings.
Oh Lord.
Oh, we're on.
Yeah, we're on. We're live.
Hey, we're live.
Oh.
What's up, America and the world?
I guess technically there'll probably be like 3 or 4 people from.
The world is watching, guys. I'm Roger of the Reddit Artist Network. Even though I'm neither on Reddit nor an artist, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here.
You're a host of the show.
Oh yeah,
The
I'm here
artist
for the comic
formerly
review,
known as, not the Roger, you know.
formerly known as.
He's gonna be a symbol soon. He's not gonna have a name. He'll just be a
I'm
symbol.
gonna be a symbol, dude. It'll be like, yeah.
Just the guy. The guy.
It'd be like, glowing fingers.
He'll start tagging. He's just keeping himself anonymous.
With me, as always, my distinguished panel, Mac Anthony,
Hello.
Anthony Nelson. We have Funisher, Mike
Yeah, that's the guy with the doodles.
doodling away, and Michelle Joy Project Green, aka Michelle Zabub, who is at the Dark Moon Fair right now.
It's very artsy out here.
Battle Pets, checking out the
Artsy.
video game art, holding down the video game art portion of our program. Our official
Ah, I failed.
digital art correspondent. There. All right. So what should we do? Where do we go first?
What's our art news? Besides the
Oh,
beach
should we
whale.
start with news. All right. Just a couple. Oh yeah, talk about the beached whale. That's art news. Let's go. You have a link? You have a.
I can get you a link quickly.
Get us a link. Get us the link
All
to the beach whale. That's
All
what
right.
it is.
Well, there was a beached whale apparently somewhere in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
Which was tagged by a graffiti artist. Oh god. Just straight tag that. So we're tagging whales now. That's what we're doing. That's the human race. And artists, we're tagging whales who
We
are
should have went with, like,
dying and in need of rescue on the beach. We just spray paint our names on them. That's
Well, it's a good thing they got more press than many artists get.
But some
The story is you should tag beached whales because, well, everyone will talk about it and it will work. Except we don't know who the artist is, so maybe it didn't work.
Well, I mean, it worked enough that they got I'm sure something was in the story. At least a picture of it, I'm assuming, would be in the story.
I put a link to the article.
But if everyone hates it, they're not going to want to say who they are. And then once again, they fall into obscurity. They're like the deep throat of artists. It'll be 30, 40 years before we find out who this really was.
yeah.
And by then we won't remember.
Once it's declassified by the NSA.
We'll have to do a Freedom of Information Act.
All right, audience. All right, world. What do you think about this news article? Tweet us at
MEI 94? Is that what it is?
What?
Trying to look at the picture.
oh.
Trying to read it.
MEI. Well, it's 94 at the end. You can clearly see the 94. But
Where's the picture? Screencast the picture.
Me or Mac? I linked it.
You gotta screencast it.
Michelle's done doing work. That's it. She's done. She linked it. She's done for the day.
I do not see me having to own up
Like,
at the shooting booth.
I get to play WoW now.
yeah,
I linked it.
Alright.
Yes, dude.
Let's see. I'll link it for you.
Screen share the picture of the beached whale getting graffitied. In other news, um, let's see. A Banksy mural in London,
Mhm.
which pokes fun at racism,
Mhm.
was deemed racist and was chemically removed from the wall.
Well, let's talk about what the mural was.
It was a bunch of pigeons holding up picket signs that say, like, "Go back to Africa."
Uh-huh.
And further down the wire that they're sitting on, there's like a looks like a swallow or something, like a green exotic bird.
An African swallow.
Yeah, like an African swallow or something like that.
Okay.
That brings in the whole Holy Grail.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I thought it was fucking hilarious, but apparently the city of London did not think it was funny. Whoa, I'm up here twice.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, I was up there like a million times. Oh, can't get enough of me.
It is the Roger
Want
Show.
more? Hey, you want more of me? Watch the fucking Randcast.
I'm a little bit like what that piece is. I mean, is that just it though? Is that the whole? That's the whole piece.
That's the whole story. Yeah, you want the link?
Hey, or screencast the piece. Are we allowed to? Is it copyrighted material?
Probably.
You get mad at
I
me?
don't know. I can't because I'm not on a computer doing this, so I can't
Oh, that's
screen
right.
share it.
I
Yeah.
screencast
I'm just on my phone. I'm on my phone. Oh, we got one viewer, guys.
Oh my god. They could probably ask questions too.
All right, here's my other and last news story. Apparently, Vincent, a Van Gogh musical, will be touring France and Belgium in the fall of 2015.
Oh boy.
Vincent Van Gogh the musical, bros. Are you ready for this?
Go, I write you again. Please send me money. No, I don't know.
For the 125th anniversary of his death, what better way to celebrate his death than a Broadway musical, right? Like,
Oh god. All right. Why not?
Albert Verlinde and Van Gogh Europe Foundation are responsible or to blame for this monstrosity.
How do his descendants feel about that?
Well, I mean, he'd had to have gotten permission from the estate, right? Maybe not. I don't know. Was it public domain to make a Van Gogh musical?
I guess. I mean, it's not like he could sell the rights to its story or whatever. I mean, or it could just be, based on the life of Van Gogh, and then they can just do it without buying the rights.
They just they could just take it wherever they want.
Yeah.
Van Gogh.
He's gonna find Rocky.
Van Gogh and the Angry Inch.
So look out for Vincent if you're in France or Belgium in the fall of 2015, which I really want to be there, but I kind of want to go.
I gotta say, that's pretty far in advance to announce a musical.
Well, I mean, it's being written and put together right now, and they announced it that it's gonna happen as part of like this whole event. That year it's like a big Van Gogh year where there a bunch of his artists touring.
Oh, okay.
And shit like that, and it's part of that.
Well, I was gonna say it must have had some I don't know. It's because, I mean, obviously Van Gogh everyone knows Van Gogh, but it's kind of that thing where it's like it's announcing it so early is that feeling where was anybody waiting for a Van Gogh musical? You know what I mean? Like now, for example, they just announced the Twin Peaks. They're making a new Twin Peaks season coming out in 2016. Now, of course, I'm stoked. I'm super happy. That's exciting. But that has this cult following, and people have been wanting that on TV. It's like, has there been an audience of people being like, God, if only they would make a Van Gogh musical. If only.
There probably was.
We should make a Kickstarter.
I've been waiting for this.
You didn't know you wanted it until they
I mean-
told you wanted it.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't really follow musicals, but it might be. It'll sound like a musical, I'm sure. With music.
I wrote and composed a Van Gogh musical. I mean,
Oh. Well, look, come on, man. You have to when they take your idea from you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't like publish it or anything. It's fine. I'm sure theirs will be better.
Should have mailed that to yourself.
Should have. Should have, would have, could have.
Now it's too late. It's already out there. It's already a thing.
So that's the news. Are you guys ready for Is This Art? Are you ready for Is This Art?
I'm ready for it.
Sure.
I'm on the edge of my seat. I just moved to the edge of my seat.
I just threw it out.
I've
Is
literally,
This Art? The Freeze Art at the Freeze Art Festival in London.
Okay.
2 Japanese artists are serving radioactive soup made from vegetables harvested from Fukushima, in the area.
To the public?
Like,
Yeah, as an art piece.
Like, people can really eat it?
Yeah, people can really eat it.
I'm assuming it doesn't have enough radiation to actually cause anybody any harm.
Right, it's been cleared.
Oh, okay.
Everything has radiation. I mean, it's just the
Same
level of
whatever.
radiation that it has. That
Yeah, okay. Well, all right. There they
All
go.
right, Max, Is This Art?
Yeah, you know, what from the first one on there, it became either it was art or it was a stunt on there. This sounds more like stunt than art because I'm not
Well,
really.
it doesn't have not necessarily a stunt, but is it art?
I
I would not call it art. No art.
What, Max on the fence? Michelle's
No.
a definite no.
I think I'm pretty well with Michelle. I don't.
All right. No, also.
Oh, I think it's art. I think it's art. I'm not very interested in it, but, you know, I guess they're trying to make a conceptual piece about the message being that, hey, according to whatever guidelines, this is the safe, this should be technically safe food, so who here is willing to eat it, and if nobody does there, then that's a statement on, you know, the culture zone kind of fear or comfort or trust or environmentalism, you know. I'd say, yeah, it's art, sure, I guess. I mean, it would only work if they did it. It's kind of like, it seems like art has too many, it has too many of those parameters where it only works in a certain environment or opportunity. Like, if you're just in Japan and you did that yourself and just brought it to a market, and you're like, hey, here's an art piece, and you said that to somebody, and then you'd probably get kicked out of a store or wherever you are. But it only works, like, art seems to be this thing where it's, like, becoming more common where the art piece is only going to work in the context of a gallery or a museum or a fair. So I think it's still art, but I think art's becoming less and less effective because it only will work in special art-designated environments, like, to be considered art.
It only appeals to like a niche audience.
Yeah, it's such a small audience, and it's
the
kind of...
context.
There's your message. All, like, what, 2,200 people? I don't know. It's just kind of... I don't know. It's just not very satisfying.
Sounds more like an episode of Fear Factor than.
All right, well, the correct answer is yes, it's art. So, I'm just kidding.
Negative 3,000 points for everybody.
I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
I won it. I got points.
Oh, I want Michelle's take on the word puzzle that was projected on the Brooklyn Bridge. Is that art, Michelle? That was from last week.
I don't know if you heard about it.
I didn't see the word puzzle projected.
It's a word find puzzle. You know, like, it's a grid of letters, and then you can circle the words.
But it was like all of the words that some author or something like that that they ever had or something, right?
Borhe.
Wouldn't it be like more of a PR stunt to raise awareness about the author?
It was sort of a tribute to the author, yeah.
Every piece of art's a PR stunt.
But that in particular just feels like a PR stunt. I mean, is it art? No, it's more advertising.
You think advertising isn't art?
But it is a creative approach.
Make designs of things.
And we called that right. I mean,
They took a creative approach to it.
Yeah.
we thought you would say that, so we put that in our answers.
So who won the bet? Who won the bet?
Oh, no, we all did. We all thought you would say that.
That it isn't art?
Yeah. That it was a stunt.
Because is that what I always do? Say things are done? Not like me, am I the conspiracy theorist in the group?
I don't think you need to worry about that, Michelle. You just need me talking about certain topics, and then I'll start sounding like the crazy conspiracy nut. Talk about the art market, and then I'll go off, you know?
Well, Mike is more in the art world, so like everything qualifies as art. Like,
Yeah.
and then you're like less in it, so you're like, that's not even. No, what are you talking about?
The longer I ride on this carousel, the longer I get my experience buff.
I was wondering what the hell's going on there.
I got a buff from I'm happy. I have a happy smiley face in the corner that says that I'm so happy. My experience has been increased.
Mac, is this your featured Instagram or Tumblr of the week?
Is what?
Sketchbook project?
No. No, it was just some random thing that I came across.
That goes on every year. It seems really cool, but the price to get in just...
Wait, there's a price to get in?
Yeah, well, it's a company
like
that runs
$25.
it. No, it's more than that. I mean, it's like $60, and you send them your sketchbook, and they make a digitized version of your sketchbook, which then you can actually send out links to, and then they have these live events on there where they will print out and take your sketchbook and with it, and people, it's a way to get your stuff out there throughout this project, but it's done by a company, you know, so they're want to make money. I mean, it's some New York-based company.
When I tried to get into it, it was $25 for just the sketchbook, and you chose a theme. And for like another $50, you could have the entire thing turned into an ebook.
Yes, I think that's pretty close. I think it's like $60 in there. I think for like $25, you can send it in, and they will just like have your book there.
And then people who pick up your book get to sign and say that they took your book out and looked at it, and because it's like a traveling event that goes on at big museums, and they'll say, you know, the sketchbook project is coming to the Brooklyn Museum this month, and they'll invite people to come in and look at the books.
But I was checking it out a little bit because you can actually go online and without paying anything, you can just browse like the books that have been submitted, the e-book versions of them.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some really cool stuff that's in there. I mean, but most everybody seems to be doing it like for this intent. So all their sketchbooks seem to be very themed, and they have words in them, and they have, you know.
When you sign up, they make you choose a theme.
Oh, okay. Well, apparently Michelle knows way more about it than I do. But I just found it like I don't remember.
I thought it was cool.
Sometime last week I found it.
Yeah, because I follow them on Tumblr, and I thought it was just another art blog of, you know, like people share other people's art or whatever. But
I thought it was a really cool idea, and then I found out like the sketchbook itself is only 25 pages. It's a moleskin that's 25 pages long, and that's it. So I mean, to do the project, it's not overwhelming. You could very easily fill up 25 pages and send it back.
Interesting. I never heard of it.
The site is kind of cool, you know, just to check it out and flip through and see what, you know.
What is the website?
Sketchbookproject dot something.
Biz.
.com, .org.
Project.biz.
I want to say it's hosted by like Art House or something.
No, it's sketchbookproject.com is the site.
Yeah, all right.
Whatever I had in the thing, I had it open, so I had to switch tabs.
So what is the? Do you want to do the featuring Tumblr or Instagram every week, or should we take turns of that?
We can take turns.
However you want to do it. I'm okay with.
Do you want me to make a schedule?
All right, whose turn is it then?
It can
Anybody
be
got
mine.
one?
We'll determine that later.
All right, just take a double turn.
On to the next topic.
Okay.
Do you have one for this week or no?
Sure. I just have to remember, because it was. What's their name?
He's giving you the eye. Better, he's trying to get in on my carousel action right here.
Oh man, I feel like I'm on a carousel right now.
See?
That's how
Very
engrossing this
brainy.
game is. WoW is so like immersive.
The Darkmoon Fair has really grown up,
I feel like I'm riding a
Griffin.
What is that? A griffin? I'm riding a griffin toy thing.
Okay,
Actually,
this
I had
one.
one open on my other laptop, but I was having audio problems, so I ended up having to switch computers.
Alright, now I'm riding a frog.
I feel like I'm riding a frog.
I set the day for you.
I got gummy worms.
I'm trying to find inspiration. Like, I've been doodling, and I feel like I'm regressing in my drawings. It's like,
Am I the only one in here that's doing the whole Inktober thing?
no, I've been doing it. It's something I would show to people.
Oh,
not doing
I
Inktober.
haven't seen your.
I haven't
Not-
hit art in a month.
I'm not doing Inktober.
I'm like 5 days behind, so I'm not gonna start now. Sorry.
I was in the middle of other stuff. I didn't want to lose my mojo. I was in a
I
groove.
was like, I missed it. I missed the start, so I was like, next year.
But the whole thing is, it's just to do it on there. So even if you can only do it like a few times, that's supposed to be the.
Well, that's not even a challenge anymore then.
Yeah, I can do it a few times.
That's like saying
You're
everyone
supposed to do it as much as you can.
So I could have just done that.
It's
Didn't
about
have to be
being
Inktober.
part of the group and making something.
It's like
Oh, you
going
want me to be a living?
after it's over. The
Yes.
game's over, everyone's played, and then you're like, well, I could still shoot hoops. That's still part of the game. No, it isn't. The game's over. Everyone left. There's not a ref anymore. It's just you out there. That'd be you, Roger.
So it's about conformity? Is that what you're saying? It's about dancing to the piper?
That's what it is. You decide you got to stand
Sorry,
out.
Tony.
You got to fight against it, man.
Hey, we're artists, okay? We're supposed to be like individualists and non-conformists and shit.
We make our own rules. I can tape an iPad to a turtle any damn well time I please. I don't need a special calendar telling me when I can tape my iPads to animals.
I can project a crossword puzzle on a fucking bridge.
Well, it's the idea, right?
Yeah, it's the idea. I don't even have to do it. I can just think about it, and that works. I had a dude come into my space once, and he actually believed that. He said he was an artist. I said, "What do you do?" He said, "I make thought forms." And I was just kind of so. My thought is, "Oh, okay, here we go." Like it was a thing. Do you know where like you're going to be pulled into like a 30-minute conversation you don't want to be a part of? Like that feeling, like that was immediate.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, damn, this is going to be 30 minutes and I can't go anywhere. Like I can't leave. I have no excuses. Because if it was like a social setting, I would consider just turning around and leaving, being like, well, he'll never see me again, so I can just leave, and then just walking away. But I couldn't, so I had to do that and pretend to be interested.
But instead,
Yeah, so what he does is he thinks of ideas. And since he thinks of an idea is an actual manifestation in your head, so then you already made the art. He was also joining a cult, apparently. He didn't know it was a cult, but when he described it, I was just like, ooh, that's a cult. That's exciting. I wish I could remember what it was called.
yeah, but
All right, guys, round two. Round two. Is this art? Thought form. Go.
Claiming a thought form is art is a very underwhelming piece of work of conceptual art, and but the thought form itself is not art because you didn't make anything. You didn't create anything.
But this guy creating thought form as an art form, is that art?
Him claiming that his thought form is art as a sense of performance, and conceptual art is art, but the thought form itself is not art.
But having created the concept of thought form, is that art?
That sounds more like art theory than just an art piece itself.
Some existential bullshit.
I didn't say it was good art.
We have to go deeper.
We must. We must.
A dream within a dream within a dream.
What I'm trying to say is he's the best artist I've ever met. Huh?
I think it might be cool to have a weekly theme, and maybe the next show we can review the pieces submitted for it.
Like in the Artist Lounge weekly theme?
Oh, this thing. Oh yeah. Sorry, I was just straight reading without knowing what I was reading. This is suggested by Meaty. We should have a weekly theme, and then everybody draws it or makes art of it. And then...
Well, that'd be fun. The trick with it is it would have to be really reinvigorated from scratch, because doing the weekly themes for a while, they started off with a lot of participation, but then in the end it pretty much turned into, like, you know, there was only like 1 or 2 people participating, which was still awesome, because it was pretty much like I would go and see what is the awesome piece Arttastic made, because that's like the person who would be making stuff, and she'd make like killer stuff. It'd be like killer art, you know. But yeah, I never. But like that was the thing, is that the reason why I stopped, because people like kind of had asked a little bit about theme of the week, and the reason I kind of stopped doing it is because there was really only like 1, if not 2 drawings at most, and then eventually I think there was a couple themes that didn't have any art, and I was just like, oh, well, this actually is quite a bit of work if nobody wants to do it, you know, so I kind of just step back from it. Every time I'm doing something, and then it fades away, it's not just because it's necessarily like, I just don't feel like doing it. It's because there'll be a very little participation, so I'm trying to go with like the ebb and the flow of what's attracting attention at the lounge and what isn't. But we could always try to like restart it, you know. They're quite a bit of work. Or at least I'd make it be, because I'd write like a whole essay about this stuff and then do all the links in the lesson. But if people were interested...
Yeah, it doesn't need to be all that. It just needs to be a theme, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we can simplify it.
I think the less you expound on it, the more people can do their own take.
Well, usually I was just talking about, like, the way I would do it is it'd be the concept, and then I would include as an attachment, like, a technique for it. Like, so it would be like a lesson almost. So we can kind of drop the lesson aspect and just say, hey, draw fat pirates, and then just see what people's fat pirates look like. Draw you feeding radiation soup to people. Art. .biz.
.biz. I like
I'll be right back.
So if we kept it simple, we could do that, you know.
Be right back.
Oh yeah.
Nobody talk the whole time.
Let's not say anything the whole time. Let's just be
I'm still here.
Oh,
So once you watch, is it like, oh shit?
I didn't know you were still there. How are you doing?
Stop.
I will be right back.
Yeah, okay.
I know.
Just chill.
Yeah, no, we're not going to say anything. We're going to wait patiently.
Whatever. Be
We're
right
just
back.
waiting.
Watch us chill. Here we go. Ready? Go.
At this point, it's like, what can we do to get even fewer people to watch?
Oh, dead air, dude.
Hey, here we go. I got sound for this. Hold on. Oh, that's supposed to be crickets. That doesn't sound like crickets.
What the fuck
That
is
just sounds like a bunch of bug whistles.
We should start planning dead air into our podcast. Like, oh shit, we're 30 minutes in. We're gonna start the dead air segment, and then just
And then we just sit quietly like we have a nap time. I mean, we just have a nap time.
just staring at the camera for like.
How funny would that be, though, if there was a hangout and someone joined and it was just 4 people looking at the camera and not saying anything?
That is like the performance art piece. We would be our own business art.
Right there. That's our contribution. Here we go. That's perfect.
We just we'll make art. That'll be art. That'll be an art piece that we do.
Play those crickets and we won't be talking for when she gets back. Just play them now. No one talk.
When she gets back, we need to all be staring at the camera. Mike, you need to put your head on that piece of paper and look up.
Again.
You guys are really bad at this.
Oh, you're there the whole time?
I was here for some of it.
Oh, that's not as fun. Good soundboards here.
All right. Discussion topics, shall we?
Yes.
We not. Nobody else has discussion topics except Michelle.
Am I seriously the only one with discussion topics? Mine are bad.
I had a good one last week, but then I didn't think of one this week. So you can go.
What are on the list?
Next one. Moving from copying a picture to drawing from imagination, techniques and strategies.
Oh, that one. It's something that I've heard a lot of people discuss, that people who are very proficient in copying pictures, but they're not proficient without a reference. When I say copying pictures, I mean like they have a reference side by side, not like tracing or anything.
Right.
But
Yeah.
they said that when they want to move into a more creative territory, they have a hard time with it.
I wouldn't call it more creative. It's two completely different goals.
Are you looking directly at me, Michelle?
No, I'm not. I'm looking at my popcorn that I want to go get.
But we're going to play the crickets if you leave, so you can't.
Pretty much.
Or the drum roll.
Or a repeated drum roll.
What are some advice that you would give to people in those situations? Like my advice would be to take something that you can copy and then add a little something of your own. You know, just imagine something else there, or even take 2 or 3 references and merge them in some way that you find creative. Do this, and then next time don't use a reference. Just do it from memory.
I like that. I like that advice.
It works. I think like the goal is, I don't know. I question the goal of the idea though. I mean, I think it's too completely, because you use references to build realism in a piece, and then you work from imagination whether you want to build abstraction or whether you're looking for the influence of it not being from a reference. So to not use a reference, the goal is to actually lose realism, but you know you're pushing yourself to be real. It's kind of the difference if you go to an art school and you see 2 different shows and they have the quote unquote fine art, for lack of a better term, portion of the show with the paintings and drawings, and then you go to the illustration department, and lots of the illustration department will tend to have more things drawn. People will use references, but lots of times they'll also not use references, and it's a very different look to the art, but you can always distinguish that they have different goals. If that makes sense.
So you've never had an artist ask you how to transition from copying an image? Because an image is kind of like a guide. When you're just drawing someone's face, you have a guide to go by.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're starting off from imagination, there's not really a guide. I mean, you have the images in your head and you want to put those on paper, but there's no, like, I can't just reference back to this guide here.
Yeah, I don't always see it as so much as a guide is just the goal, like the intention, I'm not trying to, I mean, obviously people want to learn how to do that, but sometimes when people are, really early in learning art, it's important to distinguish, well, the goal of art isn't to be how well can you draw something without having a reference. The goal is to make an image you want to make, and that's it. So whatever means you have to make it the way you want it to be made and the way you want it to look. So in lots of cases, I guess what I'm trying to say is I get concerned that people are seeing the goal of technique to eliminate reference and to be able to do it like if you see someone do performing art on a stage and they're dancing around and then they do the upside down painting of Ray Charles and flip it around and everybody in the audience goes, woo! The goal of that is it kind of feels like that if the whole goal of art is to just is to just see how well you can make something without a reference.
No, I don't think that's what I don't think that's the question people are posing. I think the question people are posing is they have ideas, but they aren't sure how to put them out on paper sufficiently to express their ideas because they have no guide. And to them, I say do it. And if you want to learn to stop drawing with your quote unquote guide, like, my idea was try adding new elements and, slowly work your way into drawing something without any reference just because they're wanting to draw directly from their imagination.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the question is more about, like, how do I don't know. I think I have it in my mind, but
I guess in my head it would be someone's learning and they want to say, how do I draw from my imagination better? And they say, oh, there's not a reference from it. I would just say, find more references. You know what I mean? It's not.
I get that. And that's why I get that, and that's why I say use a reference and then just slowly add on to the reference from your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, the reference should be for whatever parts you need it for. It's not like you're necessarily just copying the whole picture, but a lot of times when I do it, it's just like, one time this last week on there, one of the pictures I was doing on there, I needed a hand that was upside down on there. Well, I was drawing a guy, but I ended up picking a reference from the girl because she had the hand in the right position on there, and you just need that form to get the pieces in the right place on there, but you're just taking, it's almost like picking and choosing which parts you actually need, so you don't need the whole picture there to get what you want to do, but the reference should just be able to fix the part that you need to help with.
Help get you along.
I mean, my advice to people who want to stop copying pictures, like, just recreating a photograph or whatever, is stop copying pictures.
I knew you were going to say that. But what's a good way to transition them? You just throw all those fucking references away and pull that paper out. Don't be a pussy.
No, I'm saying if you want to be do your sketch from a reference. Block out your shadows and then put it away. Put the reference away and do the rest. Do the details on your own. Do the clothing on your own. Do the folds. Whatever patterns on the clothes, the features of the face, do all that on your own. So you know where huh?
And what if something doesn't look right?
Well, it's not going to look right unless you're really.
It's right if it's what it is because it's your hand that did it. And if that's what you're sort of going for, if you're going for doing more stuff that your mind created, then let your mind create more things. I mean, if that's cool, then looking right is sort of secondary to your brain actually creating the image, more of the image than you were before.
I can understand that.
Yeah, but so many people are going to have trouble, what they have in their mind, if they don't have the proficiency to get it onto paper, they're just going to get frustrated with it.
Well, that's the thing is again, it's the same advice as everything. If you want to learn how to do something, you have to do it 50 times.
Well, yeah. And that's, when people try to say, well, they want to draw figures, from their imagination. Well, go draw, 100 figures from pictures, for life sketches and things like that. And once you actually learn how to draw to copy something on there, you can take the same steps on there and then just copy the image that you have in your mind down onto paper. You can fake that a lot more once you actually have all the fundamentals down to know where everything should go. How the shoulder should be so far from the neck, and the bones and the muscles and everything else like that are all in the right area. It's just it takes time to get comfortable with.
Yeah, just start. Exactly. Just start rely. If you want to rely on references less and less, then just rely on them for less and less things as you draw more and more things. You know what I mean? Just instead of copying directly the facial features, just look at, block out the facial features and then put the reference away and then draw the features yourself.
Yeah, which they should be doing anyway. I mean, even if you're just copying something on there, a lot of people just try and get all the lines down, and they draw like the outside of the head first, and they get, to the detail,
Yeah, the big example that I want to highlight, I guess, is like comic book artists use references a lot when they draw their pages or whatever. They'll have like a guy in the office go, "Hey, stand like this," and then they'll take a picture and then use that reference. But the nerdy dude in the office with glasses does not look like the dude who's on the page punching somebody who's got a cape and like a superhero outfit, and it doesn't look the image on the page looks nothing like the guy that you took the reference from. It's just about the pose, getting where the shadows are going to be, positions, proportions, things like that.
Understanding the anatomy and how it works.
Right, exactly.
Which is the same thing with everything else. If you want to draw cats, draw a bunch of cats.
So if you want to draw more from your imagination, just, like, you can still use a reference, but use it for certain things and sort of, if your goal is to eventually draw completely from your imagination, then use your reference photos for less and less things as you go. I guess. I don't know how to explain it better than that.
In my head, because I just feel like the way I see references is you're not using your formal techniques in art, your study of figurative and composition and value and all that. It's like I almost see it as this opposite, where you're not learning those things so you can draw or paint without a reference. You're learning them so you can look closer at your references. Like, I see it as someone says, I want to learn how to draw better without references. I almost want to be like, go take 1,000 photos of whatever it is you want to draw and look at each one. And it's that thing where you almost, it's like use more references. If you're trying to run from them, I'd say use more of them. And you can use references for anything. I mean, they even apply to abstract art. You could look at a Deben Coronation Park painting, and those are landscape paintings. They look like non-objective paintings, but they're landscapes. And it's because even in that level of abstraction, they're pulled from reference. I think it's almost just, I would say it's good practice if you can understand what you're looking at, and I think that's the key, more so than trying to be like, I want to be able to draw from my imagination. Well, the way you build your imagination is by looking at things really closely and looking at a lot of things. And like you can't make up a new image in your head that isn't composed of elements of things you've seen in your life. Like everything if you try to imagine a building that doesn't exist, all you're going to do is take architectural structures and colors and brick patterns and things you've seen before and construct a building. But they're all things you've seen. So to have a better imagination, you need to look more at things and look closer at things and look at more references. I want to learn how to draw an eye without looking at an eye. It's like, well, look at 1,000 eyes, because each one's going to be different.
That's a good point, too.
So I guess what we're trying to say is make more goddamn art and stop questions.
Stop fucking sitting around for a month and watching nothing but fucking Downton Abbey and Walking Dead.
That's kind of the interesting combination.
Yeah, that's quite a combo there.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. I need to buy, what is it? Pride and Prejudice and Zombies?
What?
There's like...
That book?
It's like a graphic novel, right?
Well, it was a book of fiction first. They just
the book first?
With the zombies or whatever. And they turned it into a graphic novel? Sounds perfect for it.
Yeah, it was a graphic novel, and then a couple of years ago I heard there was a movie deal, and like...
Oh my god.
Nothing happened from it. Like, I haven't seen the movie. It hasn't come out, so I guess that one fell through. Anyway, shall we continue discussing? What's our verdict on this? I guess if someone is trying to move from, using references to not using references, just wants to completely rely on their own imagination. We're saying, consensus.
Don't.
Don't.
Reorganize your goals.
I think it's a balance of constantly using references and then using your imagination and then using references. I think you have to do both. I don't think that you can do just one and feel satisfied if you want to be creative, you know?
Yeah, I think so. I think you definitely need to take your own interpretation and use references. Robert Crumb actually paid a guy to go around San Francisco and take photos of the tops of buildings, like all the little telephone, all the little poles and little water towers and everything, so he could put them in his drawings because he said, I'll never remember all those things. You know, so it's just like, but at the same time, lots of his drawings were from imagination. He made them both. That way you have the water towers and then you have the big booty legs and everything in his drawings. You can't have both. You can't have just one or the other.
The bean.
Yeah, really, dude. And, I mean, nothing. If you're going for realism, nothing is more realistic than drawing from life.
Yeah. And if you're going for abstraction,
Still.
yeah. It's hard. I mean, you can try to go the route of, like an abstract expressionist, but still everything, or non-objective art, which is not, it was supposed to be non-objective, but it's still, a color is a color, a shape's a shape. It never hurts to see more things and to look closely,
If you want to abstract stuff and still actually have, some semblance of a likeness on there, you still need to be able to interpret that likeness.
Yeah. Oh,
cool. All right.
Unless it's like, Pollock.
Hmm.
Well, he abstracted from nature also.
Jack the Dripper. Oh, Jack the Dripper. So lucky to have Clement Greenberg behind you.
But also, that movement was all about, drawing from within yourself, rather than drawing from nature or the world.
Was it even about drawing from in yourself, or was it just about, this is object and this is technique, and, that's it?
No, there was, apparently, according to the little I learned from watching the Ed Harris movie.
Yeah, that's all how much. That's all I got too. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't really study.
There was a lot of him drawing from. That was one of his favorite things about the current state of abstract art at the time, was that artists didn't need to draw from nature or the outside world. They could draw from within themselves to create art.
Yes. And much like when it gets overdone, boy, it started to get sloppy after him.
But also, the movie made it look like that line was sort of fed to him.
Yeah.
And he didn't really buy it. And he just said it in an interview. And he was he just didn't give a shit. He just painted to paint. And, people were asking for explanations, so his wife was like, just tell him this.
It happens, The fucking the Warhol soup can idea wasn't even his idea. Someone told him you should just paint all the Campbell soup cans, because he so desperately wanted to be like Rauschenberg and everything. That was their advice, and so he did it.
All right, next discussion, or how are we on time?
I don't know.
We're running over, but I got a few more minutes.
We're
Running over?
Yeah, but it's okay.
I want to make this drawing.
All right, here's what Meaty suggested this ages ago. It just says, should I post this art?
Yes.
What's the art? Do we see the art?
Doesn't matter. No, it was.
It says, should I post this art?
Because people ask that question all the time.
Yes.
Whether I drew this on there, but I don't want to post it because it's the whole apprehension thing of putting something that you did out there for public viewing and criticism. And everybody thinks, oh, well, it's not good enough to post it out there. Well, you should still just post it out there because, even if you have that even if you have that as your motivation of you don't want to put something that's mediocre out there, well, that's motivation to get you to, try a little harder and do a little better.
What if that's not the reason? What if someone asked you not to post this art?
Do it anyway.
Asks you not to post it?
Yeah.
Then find another sub.
Ask you not to post it.
What if you painted something, and somebody saw it and was like, "Don't post that, please."
That's just one person's opinion. Post it. It's like that Ben Folds song. Do it anyways.
That's
Oh
hilarious.
God!
I want-
I have several. I have several pieces that I've been asked not to post.
Now I just want to say that to people. I just want to be like, no, don't put the art out there, man. Because that's
No, not that one.
Ooh, don't do
Told
it.
you not to post it.
Don't post ever.
Whatever. Maybe they had their own reasons for wanting to keep.
I guess if there's like an anonymity issue, or like if your art piece was like, I'm gonna post the salary of all my coworkers or something weird.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna post all my friends' social security numbers, and they're like, please don't do that ever.
What if it's this? I have such a painting that I painted weeks ago that I have not posted because
This is interesting.
there's a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a commission.
Yeah.
The dude commissioned for his wife.
Yeah.
He's going to give it to her on their anniversary. He said it was in the middle of October, and I'll refrain from posting it just in case she comes across it.
Well, that's just being nice and
But
courteous.
no, that's not you not posting it. That's you holding off on posting it until a certain time when it's okay.
Yeah, I say you
I'm
can
not really
post it.
surprised. That's still not a matter of not posting it. Because I'm assuming once the anniversary comes about, you're going to plaster this shit all over your...
Okay, I got shit I haven't posted. You want to see it?
Well, no, because then it's gonna be technically out there.
No, it won't be.
No,
Like the two
Two
viewers.
viewers.
Yeah, I guess no one's gonna see it. Yeah, let's look at it. And right now, it's a spoiler alert, so they can just, if they know it's them,
Did you say...
away. If you think you might be getting art as a gift in the next couple weeks, look away from the screen right now.
Oh no, it's not. I'm not going to show you those.
Oh,
Because I've done that too, where people have commissions and they want to give her gifts in there, and I wait to post them until I know it's safe. But
I have them in here. Put them in
my art
plastic bag.
actually going to be ruining their anniversary. They don't know that yet, but that's what my art piece is.
It's called the Anniversary Ruiner. The Ruiner.
Sucker chumps. Little do they know.
All right, but that one.
Oh, nice.
Not posted.
Cool piece.
Why wouldn't you post that?
He has to wait.
No. That's not that. That's not the commission.
Oh, that's a different one.
Just stuff I haven't posted for whatever reason.
Damn, man. You're sitting on a bunch of stuff. These are like the Roger B-sides.
The B-sides. There's that one.
The B-sides, man.
This is like a sort of companion piece to sort of a. This is my first conceptual art piece. Hang on. 1 second.
Are you gonna put your
the
penis
one
out?
that you did of yourself, yeah.
I do the same thing where I'll draw, but I won't post it. So it's my private art.
I posted this one. This is my self-portrait, sort of.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And then this is the sort of companion piece to that. It's a female figure doing the same pose, the same color scheme. And they are to be hung on opposite walls facing each other.
Mm-hmm.
Conceptual.
Conceptual. See, you even have installation instructions. You're like,
Oh,
what's his name? Soul DeWitt. Is that the artist's name?
it's like one piece. It makes one piece. These two paintings.
Beautiful.
They're part of the same.
You got to write the installation instructions for yourself, and then you be your own curator, and then you dictate yourself as an art handler how it should look. You can do the full process.
So who decided not to post them? You or somebody else?
That one I posted. Shit, where's my commission? Oh no, I sent it, of course. Of course, I sent my commission off to the guy who bought it, so I don't have that. But I scanned it, so I can post it sometime in late October. It'll be like my first post in 6 weeks. Unless I make art before then, maybe I will.
I hope so.
Yeah, I gotta get back on the horse.
Yeah, definitely. This is kind of a conundrum. I don't really feel like finishing this drawing. Like, it's fine. And, like, I could make it okay, and it'd be nice to make an RGD for someone, but I kind of don't feel like making it. But I'm already,
Why?
like, this far.
Just black out some parts roughly, and then you're done.
Why? Why don't you feel like finishing it?
I don't know, I'm just bored. It's just...
I'm telling you, black out the dark parts.
Here, I can fix a couple things and whatnot, and readjust the eyes on the dude, because those are clearly wrong now that I see it in reverse. Wow, that's interesting how well that always works. I gotta lower this one. But I don't really, I know it's going to take me like 2 more hours, and I'd rather like work on some paintings for 2 hours than this drawing. That's a conundrum. But it'd be nice but I always spend so much time on art, it'd be nice to have art that like more new stuff regularly, you know? Because I hardly ever put new stuff out, because it takes forever to make.
Yeah, I need to make new stuff so I can post it.
I got a lot of work.
My problem is not should I post this. It's like should I make something so I can post something. It's like I want to fucking post shit. I need to make something.
I like having the camera here so I can see it in reverse. This is kind of nice.
I do like when I was like making a lot of art and then, you know, I was posting so seldom compared to how often I made art that I ended up like making a post that was just like a ton of shit that I hadn't posted yet. I was like, I haven't had time to post these. Here's like 10 pictures. So our answer is yes. Always post it. Whatever reasons you have not to. Whatever.
No, I mean you can. I mean if it affects someone else, you know, like and you're under those guidelines with them. If there's some whatever, you know, I don't know.
Like the anniversary thing.
Yeah, like don't post it then. Like respect. I mean, especially since.
Or like nudes of your ex. Don't post those.
That's an understood guideline, you know, when you start it, but. You know, at the same time, you know, just don't refrain from posting something because you're just scared. Refrain only if you need to do it out of like respect for whatever reason, you know, or if there was an agreement to it. But if you're just scared, stop being such a little baby. Just post it. God, who cares?
All right, there you go. Unless you have a good reason.
Yeah, and being
out there.
scared is not a good enough reason.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is if everybody jumps off the bridge, you jump off that bridge too.
Yes.
Exactly. Let us see it. We want to see it. We want to see what you're up to.
They can't all be wrong.
Yeah. We want to see what you've been doing. Show us.
Just post it in the lounge, you know? I'll bug you to post it in the lounge. That's
Put
why
it in
I do that.
Oh, man, we need to make that rap song.
Post it in the lounge?
Put it in the lounge.
Post it in the lounge.
Now.
Pretty much people can assume... Huh. Sorry.
Who is it? Is that your other podcast crew?
No. It's like, that's family.
Is that your other
It's
group
actually
of friends that
kinda-
you do a podcast with?
that's actually a phone call I'll probably have to call back pretty immediately because I'm not sure why they're calling me.
Sure.
We're running late, so...
Oh, yeah, all right.
Well, we can end this now.
Yeah, let's drop it right there since Mike has to go talk to his other friends.
My other podcast crew.
His other podcast crew, his other family.
Let's just sum it up like this. Don't be a wuss. Post your shit, and use a lot of references. That's a good way to practice not needing them. And I'll probably say it's art. Michelle probably won't.
And stay away from radioactive soup. All right, good night.
Radioactive soup.
Peace out, guys.
Peace
Yeah.
out.